Hey, this is Vital Info, and today's video is going to be 5 unexpected ways to boost your testosterone. Now, both men and women have testosterone, but this video is going to focus on men's health because as a man, having that good level of testosterone is key for your energy, your immune system, your performance, your confidence, your ability to compete, and that's why I'm going to focus this video on 5 unexpected, sort of low-key ways to boost this male hormone in your body. Perfect. So now that we've kind of established why testosterone is important for men's health, let's jump into number 1. So the first unexpected way to boost your testosterone is to win a competition. There's a phenomenon in psychology called the winner effect. It's been shown that whether you're playing ping pong, whether you're even winning the Nobel Prize, and anything in between, sports, chess, board games, debates, that when you're in a competition that you care about, the person who wins that competition, their testosterone shoots up afterwards, enabling them to do well in subsequent competitions. The person who loses, their testosterone tanks. This is the reason why in boxing, for example, they will set up a up-and-coming star against sort of a journeyman fighter who is not quite as, on the ascendancy and for whom the superstar is going to get an easy win over. That's because there is a winner effect. So win a competition and see your testosterone go up. And this has an evolutionary biology basis, they theorize, and it would make sense, right? Because if you win something, you're going to be oriented toward the opportunities you can get with your abilities. If you lose something, you're going to be more in protection mode, more sort of like paranoid of your surroundings and like, oh man, like if I got beat up there, like what else can happen to me? I better kind of like conserve my energy or learn to compete before I'm really cocky. Number 2 is lift weights around other guys. Studies have shown that lifting weights in the presence of other men has a more profound effect on your testosterone than just lifting weights alone. We all basically know that lifting weights, heavy weights in general, spikes up your testosterone because you sort of need that in order to do that activity. But it's interesting. They've got more specific, and studies have shown that lifting around other dudes pumps your testosterone more. It's sort of like being in prison or something, and you're lifting weights, and you're just like, you feel your body is like, dude, we're in this like masculine environment, we're in this competitive environment. Let me pump myself up and make myself fit in and be more able to adapt to this situation. Number 3, make sure you're getting your iodine. Iodine is an essential nutrient. It's actually an element on the periodic table, if you remember chemistry. But so for iodine consumption, you can get it from food, you can get it from supplements. That's really your call. Just making sure that your level of iodine is within the optimum range is going to do wonders for your testosterone and other hormone production. And that is because iodine is a nutrient that supports the thyroid. And the thyroid is basically the master organ in your body in producing your hormones, including the androgen hormones like testosterone. So there's an interesting fact with that as well. They used to call the northern United States before the 1920s, they called an area there the goiter belt. And that was because people's lymph nodes are literally getting swollen up in their neck like bullfrogs because they weren't getting enough iodine. And that's a sign that you have major thyroid dysfunction, that organ is not working well. And so if the thyroid is not working well, how are you going to produce thyroid hormone? How are you going to produce testosterone? You need to support that organ. Iodine is a big way to do it. So for number 4, the tanning bed can help. So vitamin D is not actually a vitamin. It is a type of pre-hormone in a way. And so vitamin D acts often as a precursor to your hormones. And so testosterone being a hormone, vitamin D has been linked to testosterone production. So people can get really low at vitamin D. The upper latitudes UVB radiation, the type of radiation from the sun that is sort of secondary, that's out when the sun is really intense. A lot of northern states in the US and northern latitudes in the world never get that from like November to April, or, depending on where you're at. So you're going, 6 months, 8 months, 3 months, whatever it might be, without producing any vitamin D from sunlight, because UVA does not produce it for you. So what's the source of UVB? Obviously, during that time, a lot of people supplement with vitamin D, which is, considered a good idea, and, by many who care about this issue. When it comes to getting it from a sunlight type of source, a lot of people will go with tanning beds. Now, if your dumbass gets cancer, that's not my fault. My dumbass might get cancer. I do tanning beds. I don't know. I try to do them in moderation, just try to get a little bit of that UVB. It feels good for me. It has a sense of like euphoria afterwards. But, always check with medical professionals. Don't just take it from me. Don't just jump into the tanning bed and like burn yourself because I say this. But the tanning bed can help you get UVB. If it's a type of tanning bed that includes UVB. Some of the higher end tanning beds actually won't have it because it's considered, people aren't building tanning beds to create vitamin D production. They're doing them to give you a tan. So you can hop in there, get some UVB if it's that type of bed, and that will give you some vitamin D, which can contribute to that chain of events that starts up your testosterone. I have definitely felt a lot more testosterone after incorporating, mild tanning bed use into my lifestyle. Wow, we're already at number 5, breezing through these. So number 5 is to adopt a no-fap routine. So no-fap, basically, if you don't know, it's no masturbation. Don't masturbate. Don't beat your meat. And although the jury's still out on whether this practice of abstinence from beating it increases your testosterone directly, the studies do seem to indicate that refraining from whacking it, they increase the androgen receptors in your brain, or at least, masturbating too much will hurt those androgen receptors. And so what's an androgen receptor? It's basically how your body can receive info from and manifest characteristics of those male hormones like testosterone. So, testosterone flows into those androgen receptors, if you will, and, like in your face, and you'll grow facial hair. They will, do that in your voice box, and you'll have a way deeper voice than I do. You will, which isn't saying much. And so like androgen receptors in your brain, that would basically be like, how your brain is interpreting testosterone, receiving testosterone, making use of the hormone. And like, it's just pretty much as vital as producing testosterone, because if you can't use it, if you can't convert it, if you can't achieve those masculine characteristics you're looking to embody, by doing that, what's the point of making testosterone? It's as if you would have lower testosterone. So no-fap helps preserve these androgen receptors, and it helps your body utilize testosterone. All right, and I'm going to give you guys a bonus one here because that's what it's all about. So the bonus tip to boost your testosterone in an unexpected way: never touch receipts. When you go through the grocery store, the lady's going to be like, would you like a receipt? You're just going to reflexively be like, yes. No, that is the wrong thing to do. Do not accept that receipt. And definitely don't let them lay the receipt all over the bushel of kale that's bursting out of the bag, all over the, outside of the meat from the deli. Do not let them put that receipt on top of your food, and do not touch the receipt yourself. Please. Because receipts carry a very special kind of BPA that, which is a type of plastic, and in your body, it wreaks havoc on your hormones. It is such an effective synthetic form of estrogen, just like touching these receipts, such a fake form of estrogen that like actually acts like estrogen in your body, that pharmaceutical companies actually considered using that product as a birth control method because of what it did to the hormones and how it threw them so out of whack that girls could not get pregnant. So you don't want to touch your girl's birth control, do you? You don't want to accidentally eat your girl's birth control and put that pill in your mouth. And, the morning after pill and the, regular routine birth control prescription. You don't want to come in contact with those, and it's known that men should not touch those items, right? And so that is really, 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 really bad, because the reason actually that they didn't approve the stuff coding the receipts for birth control in females was that stuff was too strong. It was having too much of an extreme effect of adding to their estrogen. And estrogen, like any other chemical in the body, you flush it out. And so you build it up and then you flush it out. And hopefully you're doing that at a sort of homeostasis so that you maintain a certain level of it. Because men need a certain amount of estrogen, right? Women, a certain amount of testosterone, blah, blah, blah. But certain people process estrogen better. So, you might be a person who, if you build up estrogen in your body from eating soy, from touching receipts, from, not doing these tips that I'm listing out, you might be inefficient in your genes and being able to clear out the old estrogen. And that stuff is going to make you nervous. It's going to make you have crying fits. It's going to make you freak out and basically display these female emotional stereotypical characteristics to a degree that you do not want. And so don't touch the phytoestrogen material like receipts. It's not natural. Just get emailed receipts and just say no. Don't just humor them and be like, okay, I'll take it. Now I'm going to touch my food. No, that is bad. And that's going to interfere with every single tip I've listed out here. And so avoid that and you'll be golden. Cool. So thank you so much for listening to my 5 tips plus the bonus tip to unexpected ways to boost your testosterone. Please put these into practice and let me know your experience with this in the comments. Like, subscribe, and feel free to hit that bell to get notified when I come out with more tips for you, and I'll keep posting these videos for you. Thank you.